do you mean he's not eligible for this quest?
I'm not eligible for anything, man. I haven't done shit in this game. I've kind of just like putzed around. I don't know where the fuck I am.
No, I think it might be because you have to actually reach the guy that I talked to. I think I can't share it with you because there was a guy in a tent like way on the back of that hill.
And you like what you just talked to him and he gave you a quest?
Yeah, it's a level 30 quest. Oh, that might be it. Level 30 quest.
I mean, you're only 23.
Yeah.
21.
Like I picked it up when it's 7 levels higher than me. So for you, it's 9 levels higher than you. You might not be eligible for it, period.
Oh, okay.
Like you might get there and he might not have a quest for you because you're so low level compared to the quest.
I'm honestly just trying to look for foremans. Okay, so
yeah, there's one more foreman to go.
Yeah, just right there.
Yeah, they should all be in the middle.
Yeah,
they're foremans. That's what they do. Here comes another party with an undead rogue and a Tauren shaman.
Where? Then we better go, man. They're gonna take all the foremans.
Or Gugnon. Oh no, you attracted attention.
It's fine. Just kill him quick. If we kill them extra fast, then they can't do anything.
Oh shit, there's even more here. Where'd these many come from? Sorry, I might watch both of the Star Wars movies back to back.
What?
Because the new movie's coming out on Thursday.
Oh.
Hip hip hooray. But
can't wait for
in a weird
to show up on
in a weird spike of timing, I can't work like the day before.
You can't work the day before Star Wars comes out?
Like yeah, because normally I'm like sequestered away and so on to do my recordings in quiet and all that. Oh shit, hello friend. So because I'm trying to have audio quality, so like my door is closed and I'm not near the front door and so on. But I have packages arriving that require a signature and I'm like, oh god damn it, and you can't opt out of the signature. I'm like, god damn it.
That's
frustrating. Yeah, so I have to sign for them or they won't get them, and I'm like, oh god damn it. And it's like sometime by the end of the day. I'm like, yeah, great. So I'm just gonna sit there in the front room watching both Star Wars movies back to back, waiting for the packages to arrive, and then I'll be all caught up for the new one. Haha.
I mean, you know, it's not going to arrive until like 8 p.m. right?
I can't wait. I mean, I hope it arrives a bit sooner than that because I have my analogous to this session with Bird for at 7.
No, that's just that's how it works, man. Every time.
Hopefully by then I have somebody else that's home that could watch for it. I don't know. Deliveries ruin your day.
I hate fucking packages.
That kind of package just completely ruins your day. It's like it just becomes your duty to personally watch out for it.
The more bothersome thing is, like, I wouldn't mind if it wasn't for the fact that there is a consistent truth to delivery people sometimes fudging like you being not home or something. I fucking hate that.
Oh yeah, like the idea of just sitting there all day waiting for the package only to find that the delivery man
just like threw a sticker on your door and just like LOL and ran away, and it's like I will eat your soul.
Because they're like running behind schedule, so they just lie.
Yeah.
And it's like I waited all day for this.
It's really
apparently
frustrating
a common
because
problem for people in apartment buildings.
Oh god, yeah, very, very well, because imagine you pull up to an apartment complex and if you don't have a front place you can leave a package with, you have to go find where their door is. Forget that.
They'll just say they weren't home. They'll never get their package ever.
Well, they'll get their package when they're not, running behind. I literally, I did that at work where I stayed until late because I was waiting for a package to arrive, and I saw on the Amazon app, it showed the person park right in front of the building, so I went to meet them and I watched them just put the fucking sticker on the window and walk away, and I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna come down and kill you.
Oh wait, I forgot, do you not have a cat form yet?
No.
Oh.
I told you, I'm like behind on my druid shit, I know.
Right.
For sure.
It's been like a month and you still haven't done the quest.
I've kind of been playing other things and work and
Goodbye, Andrew.
sadness.
Disappearing across the horizon.
It's okay.
Bye. Use your fucking journal. There you go. Oh yeah. Goodbye. Goodbye, Andrew. I briefly saw you for a bit.
Hey, there's a guy here with a question mark over his
The draw distance
head.
will overtake you once again. Haha.
Stone something. Hey, what's
J.J. Abrams is gonna completely fuck up the ending. I know it. I just know
I'm sure
it.
it'll be fine. He's gonna do something. It's gonna say something like, Darth Vader's still alive, chilling in the Bahamas, and he's got like 6 friends or something. Maybe like all the he'll just add every character from Phantom Menace in there. Just somehow. He'll be like, yo, no one's talked about Jar Jar in a while. Let's put some Jar Jar in there.
It was the Vlambeer guy, right? Rami Ismail.
What?
Rami Ismail was the guy that was like, he quoted a article that said like, the first Star Wars Rise of Skywalker reactions are in. Everything fans are hoping for, it says in quotes. And it's like, and he's like, okay, but which fans?
Oh.
That's not like, even like that's a flawed claim in any context, but in this one in particular, there's a bit of a divide.
Yeah, when you say fans, that's
there's a bit of a divide from side to side of what fans kind of want in general.
There's technically a 3-way
there was one article
issue.
There was an article or a tweet or something that straight up called it rude. Like they said the movie was rude to Rian Johnson. I'm like, that's really specific phrasing.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Like
I don't
like the idea that the movie just throws Rian Johnson under the bus, maybe, is just overtly a dick. He's the guy that directed Last Jedi.
Oh, okay. Why would it throw him over the?
Because that's the one people are all mad about for reasons. Dumb reasons.
It's a Star Wars. It's a Star Wars movie. It is dumb.
No, we need to return to the glory days when the first remake, the first reboot
glory
happened.
days, dude. This was like taking place in a galaxy with space travel and CRT monitors.
Remember how great J.J. Abrams' Force Awakens was? I like the part where R2-D2 sat there doing nothing the entire movie and then woke up and he secretly had the secret puzzle piece of like the galaxy. They had a galaxy map and it just had one chunk of it that was fucking missing. And then R2-D2 woke up and he's like had the last piece of it. And it's like, I'm like, first of all, don't you already have an idea? If that one chunk's missing, then don't you inherently know that's where he is?
Yeah.
Like you could scan a bit. I feel like he'd probably be a bit.
Stupid.
I'm pretty sure he'd be findable. It's like, here's the puzzle piece of where Luke is. Clearly, he's in the part that's missing because it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle of a map. So R2-D2's like, oh, I had the real puzzle pieces are the robots you had all along that didn't do anything all movie. And he just wakes up and shows them the puzzle. It's like they didn't have to do anything. He was just sitting there, not giving it to them.
There are 2 things that bother me a lot about Star Wars movies from Disney. One is I don't understand how the world works enough. Like, I feel like there's so much questions I have only because I have no fucking idea how this works. Like the map thing in particular, which is, so is this a race of, is this like in a time where no one's mapped the galaxy?
There was immediately a Death Star that was so bigger than ever before that it wiped out like several planets we've never heard of, full of characters we've never heard of, and it's like, in a movie series that's failing to establish like how much new order there is and how much rebellion or resistance there is and like what the political setup is and what armies are that where and how big they are, immediately blowing up several planets with a magic laser is even more confusing. Like it only adds to the level of like I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's such a weird precedent that like I guess the rest of the universe is just that's a common thing. Like people, yeah, someone I guess had enough money to build a death weapon. That's okay. Like there's like nobody wants to say this is bad. Like I don't know. It's weird to me to think like I don't know. Maybe it seems unrealistic because I've never experienced it, but like it basically is okay, cool. A long time ago, these weird religious culty people destroyed the Nazi regime, but now it's coming back and we're not going to stop it. We're just going to let it happen because it worked so well the first time when they built the Death Star twice. Like no one's really rising up to the occasion to be like, hey, I don't want to Star Wars.
You're not giving much to like piece together like how the New Order exists even.
Yeah, how did you even recruit for this shit?
Who thought it was a good idea and so on.
Like, they just kind of
are there and you're like, huh,
was Snopes
right.
like on Craigslist looking for racist people? I don't get it. Like what the fuck? How does the Republic
It's a little interesting because like they almost can't make up their mind from movie to movie whether they want to just be like fast and loose with the rules or if they want to like explain everything.
I remember like being really upset
on one hand,
when
like the prequel trilogies were entire entire prequel trilogy was explaining the original trilogy, like Vader and the Empire. And then immediately they then establish a new evil empire again that is once again not explained. And it's like, do you want to explain things or not? And it's like maybe they don't want to explain things or they just want to have their evil just exist. But then they turn around and make Rogue One, which is all about explaining shit again. And it's like, do you want things to be explained or not?
It's because like every time doing like they, you know, because they keep having so many damn hands in the pot, but there's no one's overseeing the lore of this. Like I think that's the only thing that was kind of acceptable with George Lucas is that he was technically the savior of stuff. Like if he was like, no, I don't think that's how that went, then that's not how it went. Which I think Disney is opting obviously to not do because it worked so poorly in the prequels. But it makes it really shitty to figure out as a fan where you're like, there's literally a lot of debate on whether stormtroopers are clones or not, but the Clone Wars happened, which were people dressing up as stormtroopers basically. So like, what the fuck? What, they just took the armor and repurposed it? Like what? Like why couldn't there be clones? The technology exists. What's the excuse? And it's like, well, no one said that they were clones. It's like, I have to go fucking ask George Lucas.
So
like,
which empire are you talking about?
The original empire.
Yeah. Like
so the first empire that ever existed, I thought the stormtroopers were all clones, which is.
I think the initial.
Like
I think the idea is that the initial military were clones, but they also probably recruited people as they grew.
Which is fine, but again, it's such an annoying thing because it changes.
It is the kind of deal that's never explained, in part because when they wrote the original movies, they didn't necessarily know they were clones, and then the prequels come out explaining clones exist, but then the sequels aren't going to change. Yeah. And so like there's no the in text it'll never be explained necessarily. But they seem way more they seem way more unique and individual in the later movies than they did in the prequels, where they seem to be 500 copies of Boba Fett's father, which is of all people.
Well, I'm dead.
Of all people, why Boba Fett? Why Boba Fett's daddy? Who went out like a bitch anyway.
Not even that. Like Boba Fett's father also took off his fucking helmet, which is something Mandalorians don't fucking do, which is like, come on, George, you wrote these fucking rules.
But he had a SAG agreement. They needed to show his face.
God, it's frustrating though. It's like, this is why fandom is so annoying, because it's a thing that companies get so fucking hard-ons for, because they want you to be that committed to their product.
I wonder if they had the thought of like, we can't we can't show that they're clones unless we show their face. Because otherwise, how do we show? That's
literally George Lucas's stupid fucking brain in action.
I think they were thinking like, how do we show they all look the same unless we show their faces?
Yeah, which is fine, except it. So here's the thing: it would make a lot more sense if you did two things. One, if you made the clones from Jango Fett, and two, the only time you show Jango Fett's face is when he dies, prior to a clone, prior to you seeing what a clone looks like. You want to like have him die, you see his face, and then you find out the clones look like him. Like that's, or you can do it vice versa, where a clone dies, you show his face, and then you realize that's what Jango Fett looks like.
Die? Did you encounter like that one wizard or something I saw?
There's like 15 wizards there, dude. I walked through and like
I did see a weird wizard that looked like he might be dangerous.
Yeah, but you're moving so fast, things weren't even popping in for you.
No, they pop in. I just go around things. Found the stolen silver.
I can't do that when I'm walking at a slower pace than the AI moves.
I found the stolen silver, so whenever you successfully find your way over here, there'll be some silver to be looted if you have that quest, which I don't even know if you do. You never know. If nothing else, we'll just kill a bunch of things.
I kind of just wish.
No, it's apple grass all the way down. See, when Russell T Davies was writing Doctor Who, he liked to just throw out words and never elaborate on them, just to sort of make the world feel like it was richer and full of weird, crazy details. Because it is, because like you're completely disoriented. You're thrown into a new world every episode, and you're seeing it through the eyes of the Doctor, who knows everything already, basically, about all these things. So like, so he and Rose will be out on like
a. Why it works.
He and Rose will be out on a picnic, and he'll just be like, oh yeah, the apple grass and New York, and stuff like that, and then you just move on, and but like, apple grass lines from the original trilogy of Star Wars are becoming entire movies. So like blah blah blah, I made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs or whatever is now like an entire movie, and your father and I fought side by side in the Clone Wars becomes an entire movie, and it's like every single throwaway line that barely meant anything when it was in the actual original movies that they were set in is becoming an entire film, and then the film that tries to explain that throwaway line mostly just prove to contradict or ruin the line anyway.
It's just a Terminator problem where you're like, the future, the man does this. Okay, but we killed that man. Well, yeah, but the robots still happen. It's like, what? How do you fucking stop the robots from happening? It's like, you can't. It's inevitable.
The silver's over here.
The Thanos? Like, the fuck is this?
The silver's over here.
Like, do you ever notice?
Well, it's just there's all these moments where like Obi-Wan is like, your father and I were the best of friends and stuff like that, and he's looking back fondly and so happily, and it's like, last time you saw that guy, he was screaming in a volcano as you left him to die, as all of his limbs were bleeding out. It's like,
which is the
yes, I'm so nostalgic about your father that I was the biggest buddy with.
There's nothing I can. This.
Yeah.
Stolen silver.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, and that's what it. The
like
whole point
and like going
was
back
that
and retconning it. And making a whole thing explaining the one line then makes the line not make sense at the time.
Yeah, but also what's
I think
funny
I said
is
before,
that
like it makes Leia seem like such a fucking badass the way that she, or like just the most flippant person to be like, I don't know what you're talking about to Vader at the beginning of the first movie, because like, listen, I just saw Rogue One, it just happened, I literally followed them here, you can't pretend you don't know that you have the plan. Jesus Christ, Leia.
It is, yeah. It does come off a little.
It's like the balls on her to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. What plans? It's like, Rogue One just happened, like right over there. It's been like an hour. We saw you. We followed you here.
It is really upsetting. And you know, that's the thing is like what really upsets me about the Anakin Obi-Wan thing is that it kind of deflates the entire final battle. Like I love that final battle because he literally sits there and fondly remembers, and then he gets killed by Darth Vader, who you build this resentment for, only to find out that's the guy. That's the guy. They were best friends, and he killed his best friend. Like,
the death of Obi-Wan should like the way that it was originally shot, the death of Obi-Wan feels like it should be along the lines of the death of Han, where it's like they get killed by this person that they have a complicated relationship with, and they kind of forgive them. But then you see the prequel trilogy, and you're like, and it's like horrible. And you're like, oh my god.
Now it looks like Darth Vader's getting his due just fucking revenge for having his goddamn limbs extracted from his body. Like, I would totally be like, yeah, finally you're here. Thanks for showing up, coward. Now
or it's just like, how did, or it's just really hard to process how on any level Obi-Wan had anything other than horrible emotions about Anakin at that point, basically.
Yeah, that's also
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, he is an old man. Maybe he was in denial or something.
I don't know. Just looking back at all his mistakes.
He was living in a cave on Tatooine. Like, that has to be the worst punishment.
That's the only story they have for Jedi. The inevitable way that every Jedi story ends is that they look back on a life of failure and then exile themselves to a cave somewhere.
Well, there's not really much else you can do because there's only two paths.
That's Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Luke.
Well, no, that's because they realize that they can't keep training Jedi because training Jedi keeps the fucking cycle going, and then somehow Last Jedi is like, no, the cycle will exist regardless. It's like, what? Like, wait a second, what? It's so dumb. I hate it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I know that it's a very common opinion to not like The Last Jedi, but I really hate the idea that like Luke was in the wrong by exiling himself, because it does, like, there is a thing of like, maybe if you stopped having fucking Jedi, then maybe Sith won't show up and be jackasses all the time. Like, there's no, like, every Sith is just a really fucking upset person. Like, that's it. Like, every single Sith is always like, some Jedi said mean things to me and now I don't want to be on their team anymore. It's like, okay.
See, that's never been my read of the movie.
Really? That hasn't? Because Darth Vader's that way? Fucking Palpatine was that way?
You're saying that he's wrong to, how do I put it?
To stop teaching the, like, Jedi Order?
Yeah, like, I don't think he was in the wrong.
Yeah, because every Jedi can only teach their religion through abuse. That's like the problem with fucking Jedis, is that like they must abuse a child to make them strong, but in doing so makes them like lose out. But in the smug way where they pretend that they're right. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so most Jedi masters realize, oh, we're the problem, we're the bad guys, and they exile themselves. But then there's always a Sith who shows up. Because
for me, what I see is that Obi-Wan wasn't around during the prequels. I mean, Luke wasn't around during the prequels, so he doesn't know how they managed to fuck up and make Vader happen.
Neither does Rey.
Which, like, you can watch the entire prequel trilogy just watching them fuck up every movie. Like, the Jedi fuck up exclusively. It's all they do. But Luke didn't see any of that, so Luke was tasked with single-handedly, like, reviving the entire Jedi Order because he thought that was a good thing. And so
Yoda was there.
Basically
Yoda
he spent
literally survived.
So he basically spent the entire time between Return of the Jedi and The Last Jedi learning that, oh, this is a mistake. This entire thing is a mistake. Which is summarized in his line. It's summarized in his line where he says that the entire history, the legacy of the Jedi Order is one of failure. Like, the problem is he had to learn that himself because he wasn't there. Because most importantly, the entire Jedi Order was just wiped out. There's no continuous history of knowledge of knowing what went wrong. It's
a real fucking shame that like a Jedi Master didn't teach Luke the fucking way of the Force and could, I don't know, maybe say, hey, by the way, don't fucking start raising other Jedi. It's real bad. Like, Yoda didn't. Basically, Yoda's a jackass. He taught Luke how to use a gun and didn't teach him any morals about using guns, which is like baffling. He's just like, here's how to use a lightsaber. Here's how to use the Force. Have fun. And you're like, well, should I teach other people?
Yeah.
I'm dead now.
I can't think of a single action by Yoda in any of the movies that was anything other than a huge mistake.
But
like
that's
every
the thing, is
thought
like
he has is wrong. The most he did right ever was just kind of help with some training here and there in the most objective sense. But like,
here's
all of the
thing
actual
that
ideas and
bothers me.
choices he has are the worst call.
Well, yeah, but the problem here, the problem I have is that I don't feel like I walked away with that opinion after the original movies. I just walked away like that, whatever. Space, that was fun. Space people fight.
In
but like
Empire
the prequel
Strikes
started
Back,
adding.
in Empire Strikes Back, Luke says that all of his friends are going to die, and Yoda's just like, get over it. Tough shit. Just let him die. Whatever. Which is also what he does. Which is also what he tells Anakin. And Anakin's like, the people I love are going to die, and I don't know what if I don't think I have the power to save them. And Yoda's just like, yeah, fuck, get over it, dummy. Stop feeling things, stupid.
No, I mean,
let
that's
everyone
not what
around
he's
you
trying
die.
to say. Obviously, he's trying to say that you can't use your powers to bend the will of reality, like of destiny.
Yeah, but
like,
his response to both Anakin and Luke's problems is to basically abandon them and ignore them, and he completely refuses to actually engage with the problems that these people face and the actual reasons. Like, the reasons that they even want to use their force for good is to help people in their lives, and he's just like, eh.
Well, that's because that's not what being
like,
a Jedi is
Yoda's
about.
the fucking
Jedi
worst.
isn't that. But see, the prequels explain very clearly that Jedi are not weapons. They're not tools. They are peacekeepers. Like, their entire purpose is basically to be mediators and deal with trade agreements and making sure planets don't fight each other. Like, they are nuclear weapons in the form of human beings, and they exist to impose a sense of like command. Like, you don't argue, don't fight, because you will not win if we, the Jedi Order, decide that they are in the right. And like, that's the point.
Which is why the entirety of Phantom Menace is them doing a fight, and all of Clone Wars is them fighting a war.
Hey,
they're
look,
not
there's
weapons.
a night elf just hanging out here.
They're all just not weapons, obviously.
But again, that's the problem, is because you're trying to explain, like, give too much detail to something that you threw away in the beginning, which is just Jedi. Jedi is good, Sith are bad. That's it. Like, George Lucas wasn't thinking some fucking grand strategy bullshit. He wasn't thinking like, yeah, Palpatine's one day gonna build an empire and bunch of clones, and he's gonna use those clones to continue his legacy for hundreds and hundreds of. No, he's just like
RFK.
Wouldn't it be cool if they use these two sticks and hit each other with them, and they were made of like energy? I don't know. It just, I think like, oh, there's another skull person. It's another night elf. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just.
There's random alliance just hanging around, being weirdos.
I mean, I think they're here for a quest of something.
Being creepers.
I mean, they're using the bank apparently. I guess oh yeah, because they're neutral.
Yeah, all goblins are neutral.
Forgot about that.
Until they join the Horde in this like second expansion. Whoops.
It's fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't tell anyone.
It was all part of the vision. It was a part of the original vision.
Don't tell anyone. I have a plan.
I'm the kind of person that like the less you explain, the worse it is, but also the better it can be. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't need to be here. Where are you going? You're heading back.
I mean, Star Wars is what happens when you have one kind of failed production of a movie that wasn't expected to do well, then becomes like the biggest property in the world. So you have to like then try to graft all the world building back onto it retroactively.
You mean like Pokemon?
I mean, Pokemon's never really been coherent.
Well, Pokemon is a thing that grew far out of the original scope of its creation. Like, it was just hey, this would be a fun game, and now it's like, oh, it's the biggest multimedia franchise in existence. Okay, like, but I mean, I don't know. Granted, it's all merchandise, so the games don't actually matter at all. But it is weird to probably be in the front seat of that as a creator, where you make something and you probably go in with a throwaway mindset, and it turns into like, now it will be your legacy, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's definitely what Harrison Ford resented, was becoming a part of this big property that he did not want to be tied to forever. So like the moment they revived it, he's like, "You're going to kill me. Period. You will kill me immediately, and I will be done with this."
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the moment Disney's like, "We bought Star Wars," his agent probably called them immediately. It was like, "You fucking do another movie of Star Wars. You have to kill my client. My client has to fucking die. He's done. Let Han Solo be over." Like that, or honestly, I would have. If I was in that position where I just don't want to do that again, I would be like, all right, I'm expensive. I cost a lot of money. So you either better fucking kill me or it's going to be a pricey trilogy. Because you can't CGI me. I'm not going to sign that off, and you can't replace me. The fans won't even accept like a off-color R2-D2. Like, bullshit, you're going to replace Han Solo. Fuck off. Like he has all the power there. I would have stripped Disney bare. Just been like, I'm gonna ruin this whole thing for everybody. Fuck it all. God. Especially, have you seen what he looked like before Star Wars started again?
What do you
Harrison
mean?
Ford was living the dad dream.
The dad dream.
He had his long hair and didn't care about his appearance. He was wearing like old faded t-shirts and kind of was salt and peppering his hair, and he's like, it was great. He looked like the de facto 80s dad, and it was fantastic. And then Star Wars happened, he cleaned himself up. It was like, come on, man, you took away his happiness. He was good.
It's some pretty unfortunate and astonishing luck to bad luck to end up killing exclusively all the actors that are still alive, and the one character you leave alive is the only actor that dies. Like, the pure overlap of how that worked out was astonishing.
That is what we call bad luck. Very bad luck.
That's ridiculous. It's like, Jesus Christ.
God, did you see I saw someone posted a tweet, or there was a news article where Disney was talking to somebody, I think it was Scorsese, about Star Wars, because I guess he made a comment about he didn't like it or something, and it was
no, it was Marvel movies.
They're Marvel movies, and it was
he said Marvel movies aren't art.
Yeah, and it was the guy, what's his name? I can't remember the CEO. Bill Eisner or Bob Eisner? I don't know. Somebody, it was just some CEO or exec at Disney was like, "Well, we need to talk," and I was like, "Oh God, they're gonna fucking kill him!"
He's going to die today.
The mouse don't talk.
Oh, this place is bad. Yeah, let's go to what's it called?
There.
Go to Stone Talon. The way to go. Did you not just fly here?
No, I didn't realize you were flying to there. I thought you were running it first, because the map is fucking stupid and doesn't tell you.
That'd be weird to do.
Yeah, I was like, you're taking a really weird path. You have a quest or something? I thought you were going to Duradar.
I just flew to Stone Talon.
Yeah,
I flew to Barrens. I was turning quests in from all the stuff we've been doing. I think we're gonna go to Stone Talon, I think, because every single Barrens quest I have is green or orange.
I'm just hearthing back.
There is no yellow. There is none.
Oh no, actually it's right there. It's a stupid thing to do.
But no, I really get a kick out of that cycle, which repeats anew every year, basically. Is that basically some old white dude's like, this category of thing isn't art, and then every nerd loses their shit because they see it as their favorite thing in the world being hobby. The thing that they base their entire personality around has been insulted by some old white guy they'll never meet. Man. And then it just happens every year again. And I'm like, I feel like, guys, this is sad. You're really insecure. Fucking get over it. It's just some dude. Roger Ebert's dead and people are still trying to prove him wrong. They're still trying to prove him wrong because he's like video games aren't art, and they died immediately. And then people are and it, like he just kicked the entire video game industry right in their most vulnerable spot, and like every fucking nerd in the world is just losing their goddamn mind. What a perfect fucking deal with it troll moment to go out on, and he doesn't even fully he probably doesn't even fully realize the magnitude of it because he's that detached from the culture that he was talking about anyway. But like people lost their shit and have been continually been haunted by the very specter of once upon a time an old dying guy who didn't even play video games said video games weren't art.
I bet you could show him literally Metal Gear 5 where it's just cut scenes. It's just a movie. And he would be like, nah, it's still fucking video game. It's just Pong. Like, that would be the best. He's just like, yeah, it's just like Pong. It's like, fuck. Just die again. Please, Roger. Just die again. No more. It also is really funny because I've seen, I don't know, maybe it's because I've grown up being fans of things that people just like to kick into the ground until it's bleeding. So I'm used to just being constantly shamed for the things I like. So I just kind of I don't give two fucks. Like, I love One Piece. People tell me every fucking chance they can to yell in my face. One Piece is a bad anime. Oh no, you caught me. Yo, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to apologize? I didn't fucking make it. I'm not gonna stop watching it. I don't fucking care. I enjoy it. It's fine. If you don't like it, you know what? I can recommend you 15,000 other anime if you want. I don't fucking care if you don't watch One Piece. It doesn't matter to me at all. I like what I like, and if you don't like it, that's fine. As long as what I like doesn't cause harm and suffering, which One Piece does not, clearly. But like, the media I like means nothing. I'm not going around like telling people you gotta watch One Piece. I don't care. I watch what I watch. If someone asks, "What's your favorite anime?" One Piece. People
For me,
like,
though,
should
like,
I watch it? No.
What's really disappointing is how lame the general discourse tends to be about video games, and part of that was shown in the fact that like when people were getting all insecure about Roger Ebert saying that video games weren't art, the go-to things that they would show him to try to prove him wrong was like Flower and Journey. And it's like, oh, your ideas of what art is game is pretty. This game has pretty graphics and it has pretty music, so that makes it art. Like, somehow being more pleasant in its aesthetic makes it more art than the other games that they could have gone with. And it's because well, the issue is that like a lot of the consumers for the games industry aren't really used to dealing with video games as an art form so much as like a time-consuming pastime. So like a lot of times the stuff that really is kind of art and interesting and actually doing something with the medium are the most likely to be completely ignored, like Pathologic 2. Like that kind of stuff just goes right by. Like fucking I said this in another Let's Play too, but I'm just mad that the fucking TGAs came and went, and they once again nominated Monster Hunter, which is not an RPG, as being one of the best RPGs of the year, and they literally did not even, like, I'm happy Disco Elysium won, but they didn't even fucking nominate Pathologic 2, which is one of the most ambitious RPG projects ever, and they didn't even fucking nominate it, because like the public discourse is all about what stuff sold the most, and like there's no deeper thing, and so even the awards systems we have are themselves just about what are the most popular video games, generally speaking. And so it's almost exclusively the things that are nominated are just all of the AAA games, when that's almost never the part of the games industry where the interesting things are happening. But it's like top to bottom, it's like all AAAs, and it's just it's so
here's
disappointing.
The thing is, like, to be fair, or not, sorry, not even to be fair, realistically, Roger Ebert is correct. Video games are not art. There are plenty of video games that are not fucking art, and there are plenty of there are some video games that can be categorized as actual art. The problem here is that people assume that by calling it not art, it means it's less in quality, and that's not true. Video games are still fun and enjoyable, and they have a certain they are a necessary form of entertainment in society because they fill a need that people can receive by reading books or watching movies. Art is not synonymous with good. when someone says this is art, they don't mean that it's good. They just mean that there's something about it that is what's the word?
You're trying to point out that art is a
emotion.
you're trying to point that the art is a descriptor and not a notation of quality.
Exactly. Art is not like someone calling something art doesn't
is like describing genre as opposed to quality.
Like, I bet you there are games that Roger Ebert would feel like art to him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he
would just absolutely never experience them.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't think that by him saying they're not art, he meant that like, oh, shut all media down, like shut all video game studios down, kill every gamer, burn every Xbox.
Kill every gamer.
Like, he's literally just saying, what I have seen, the things I have seen, I do not consider art, which is fine, Roger. If you don't fucking think it's art, that's fine. And if someone thinks it is, fine. Because at the end of the day, art is all about perception. It's what you consider it to be. Like, again, people make the joke of like, oh, I've spent $150,000 on banana taped on a wall. Somebody thought it was art, jackass. That's it. That's the end of the day. Somebody went.
That's where you get to the tomato soup guy.
Yeah.
Where it's like the grid of Campbell's tomato soups and so on. And it's often like those are a criticism on the concept of what makes something art or not. And so that's one of the things I want to get to. First of all, like I think that video games are like just all art, because I think that art is a super wide and often not very helpful umbrella anyway. But for me, what's important about art is pushing the boundaries and expressing what that stuff can do. And also, a lot of art exists to express something. That's why it's made. Like those crazy ones that the weird things that people are like, that's not art. Those are often forms of art that are literally designed to criticize the art industry itself. One of which was like Banksy a few years ago did one where he had this painting where the moment the auction ended, the painting then descended into a shredder.
Yeah.
And so it destroyed itself the moment it had been sold. And it's like that's a direct criticism of the actual format of the auction that it's being sold in. Like, it's self-critical art. Art is supposed to express things and deal with things. But like everyone, like there's so many shitty
politics in video games.
It's a lot of, like it's both the gamers and the developers and the PR companies are like bending over backwards to talk about how like this thing's not political. Our war simulator about the modern war is not political, and it's like incredibly fucking embarrassing how much people want to like insist that video games don't mean anything. And one of the funniest things is seeing people that are like defending the like defending Infinity Ward when they say that Modern Warfare is not political, even though of course it is, and get politics out of video games, and like don't stop trying to put politics in our war games and all these other dumb things. And like one of the funniest things is to go back on that same Twitter account and rewind to like when they were mad at Roger Ebert, because they definitely were, and see like they just want the pat on the back. They just want the credit. Like, they want to be told that their hobby is art because it makes them feel better about what they're spending their time on, but they don't actually want to be challenged in any way by the parts where you actually deal with the ramifications of your, the art form being an art form. So like they want lazy, shovel in my mouth, consumable garbage that is completely uncritical and unchallenging, but they want to be told it's art anyway because they get to feel good about themselves and feel like, see, I'm not just wasting my life, I'm consuming art all day, I'm cultured. But they don't actually want to be ever challenged or ever think about things, and that's how you get the next level mental gymnastics of thinking that a fucking war game about real wars and real countries in the modern world is not political. And it's like, I fucking burn it down. I see that and I'm just like, burn it all down, start again. Kill all gamers.
Kill all gamers. Telling you, man, Roger was onto something.
Where are you?
Was onto something. I'm getting my druid stuff.
Oh shit, you're all the way in. All right, see you next year.
What? Where are you?
I'm all the way in. I'm like in a mine. Remember the mine area where we jumped off that one ridge in Stone Town before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way the hell over there.
Yeah, I needed to get my spells. I had literally like to scroll down to get the rest of my spells. That's how behind I was.
For me, like one of the dumbest things that people can say is is to say to get your agenda out of video games if you also want to call video games art. Because, like, you should... It's hilarious to want video games to be art, but also not want them to have an agenda. Because that's, like, why art is made. It's to fulfill an agenda. It's always about expressing an idea or a concept or an argument. That's why they make it. But these are the same idiots that probably watch District 9 and it's like, haha, fun alien movie. And like all the apartheid just flies right over their head. And they watch cyberpunk stuff and like, yay, cool lasers. And they're not absorbing any of what cyberpunk is as a genre. Which is of course the people that are mad that they have like gender neutral pronouns in fucking cyberpunk.
See,
the body mod universe.
Here's the thing.
We're transhumanist, but there's still two genders.